Everybody here. I see some familiar faces. You know who you are. And everybody else, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to get to business today. Shauna said, make sure you bring your special pen. I hope everybody has their special pen because you will be writing some serious notes today. So, hello to everybody on social. Hello to everybody who came today. I'm going to fulfill this promise, which is we're going to show you how to utilize social media to generate more sales, because here's the facts: is most people, maybe this is even you, feel like social media is just about posting content. But surprise, surprise, okay? Content is just one step of a 4-step process that will actually help you generate more sales with social media. Most business owners are kind of like doing this incorrectly. They hope that if they post enough and post the right video and pray to the internet gods enough, that they will get customers. But praying to the internet gods and hoping and praying that social is going to work, it's just not going to work. Okay? Because it's very competitive right now. All your competitors are out there, as well as AI is changing the game. The way that we're going to share with you today to utilize social media to get sales is, it doesn't matter about AI, because this is about people. This is about using social for social and developing a system that will allow you to accurately speak to your ideal client so that they hear you. And not only that, but to take action. So it's nice to see everybody. Hello in the chat. Hello on social media. I want to bring up one more thing before I actually dive into the fast track. And it's what's going on in the States, right? Like there's a lot of like uncertainty right now. People are kind of like pulling back. And I've been in business for 20 years. I've done this for 20 years. I've danced this dance many times before. Yes, this dance might look a little different than it has in the past, but ultimately the market, the situation beyond your business is always changing. And what I know more than anything else is now is not a time to pull back. Now is not a time to hide and be scared and just wait it out until you feel safer to come out and actually start taking social media seriously, understand the untapped gold mine that is social media. But right now, in uncertainty, because all of your competitors are kind of pulling back and not sure how to act and just wait until things even out, it opens up so much opportunity. Okay. And so instead of ignoring it or hiding it, my recommendation, and this is how I've functioned the last 20 years, is look for the opportunity. And I'm telling you right now, because you're at the Social Media Sales Machine Fast Track Masterclass, the opportunity is 1,000% in social media. If you're not utilizing social media in marketing, and maybe you're running millions of dollars worth of ads, maybe you got some Google ads running, maybe you're doing some SEO, maybe you're doing some outreach, you're going to live events, you're a speaker, you're like on podcasts, you have your podcast, you're like doing all these things, but you haven't really nailed social media. Social media is the glue that holds all that together. Social media is the thing that can bring all of this stuff in what I call the marketing washing machine and actually get people to take action. And that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you today. Hey, everybody. So if you're ready to get going, say yes in the comments, and we are going to dive in right now. And I'm going to give you the fast track. That's right. We covered this in 5 days, but for you guys that know that they just want it, straight, they just want it straight to the vein. Here we go with the Social Media Sales Machine Fast Track. This is everything you missed over the course of 5 days. Now, I have a unique experience coming into this because last year I was featured on a hit Netflix show called The Trust. And the premise of the show, for those individuals who didn't watch, hey, nice to see everybody, is 14 strangers from all walks of life in a house in the Dominican Republic with an infinity pool. It was awesome. We could either split the money evenly and get along, or vote each other out and keep more for ourselves. The premise of the show is not terribly important, although I did want to fill you in on that. What was important and what's applicable for what we're talking about today is, on that show, I was surrounded by social media influencers. These individuals on the show that my co-stars, they had social media followings that far outnumbered mine. Okay, far outnumbered. They were influencers by everyone's definition. But within that house, come to find out that even though they had the visibility, even though they had the eyeballs, even though they had the likes and the comments and all these sort of things, all of my co-stars on that show were struggling to monetize. Where I came, I knew who my audience is on social media. I know who my clients are, and that's who I choose to connect with on social media. And I am thoroughly able to monetize for years on social media. That's what I'm going to teach you today. But I only share this with you because it is the biggest pull for small business owners when they go on social media. They feel like they have to post like an influencer. They feel like they have to share their dogs and their kids and their life and show people their dirty laundry because that is what gets likes. But even if it gets likes, I will tell you right now, and it might go against everything that you believe and everything you felt and everything you want to do. And that is, there is a huge difference between posting on social media like a business owner versus posting on social media like an influencer. And today we're going to talk about how to post like a business owner because likes don't pay the bills and views don't pay the bills. Conversations and conversions do. So today's focus over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to turn your content into clients, stop chasing that attention, and start building trust and sales. And we're going to dive in with the 3 biggest fails that I see for most small business owners. As I mentioned, my awesome team and I, Emily and Shauna and I, we have helped hundreds of business owners actually create high quality sales systems from social media. We see mistakes all the time. And I find if I point out your mistakes, then it's going to be easier for you to spot them and fix them. So the first mistake I see a lot of business owners make is they have a lack of clarity who they're trying to speak to on social media, which means they end up connecting with no one. Now, this is not your fault, okay? Because you're on social media, you got prospects, you got friends, you got accounts you follow, and then there's that cat meme account that continually shows up for you that you always like, right? And so you get on social media and you start a video, okay, a talking head video if you're doing that. This is my talking head video, okay? And you don't know who you're talking to. So you water it down to talk to a really broad audience and come to find out, okay, this is what happens when you do that. That your ideal client, which is very, very specific, which is very, very niche, which is very like the details on that one true client is so important that you show up in a watered down version and no one hears you, including your ideal client. So if you're getting a lot of likes and views, but you're not generating sales, this very much might be your number one problem is you're speaking to general people. Okay. I'm going to give you an example of this. So we have a client. She is a wardrobe consultant, okay? So on her social media, she's posting her outfit of the day. Now, that brings in a lot of views and likes for women who may or may not ever even consider a wardrobe consultant. They just like to see her outfit of the day because they like her style, but she's not making any sales. So, but she's getting a lot of views. When she came to work with us, now, okay, we can look at her content and be like, well, that's not really positioning you as an authority at all. Like you're a style consultant, but for whom? So we change her entire social media, her messaging. We get really clear on who she is speaking to, which is high level business owner women who want to know how to dress comfortably and stylishly while putting forward their authority. And when she starts talking like this, guess who she starts attracting? Those individuals, those women who will actually pay her, who actually want to do work with her. Now, did her views and her likes go down because she didn't have the outfit of the day? Most certainly it did. But did her income and her revenue go up? Oh, yes, it certainly did. So you want to watch out for that. It is a big, big issue when you go to post on social media that you got to get worked out. Okay. The second failure that we see most often here in the agency is random posting without a strategy. Say yes in the comments if guilty as charged. I am. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've definitely been through times in my business where I was posting randomly without a plan. All I need to do is I wake up in the morning and I feel like, where are all of my clients? Oh my gosh, I better hurry up and post on social media. Or my team says I should really post on social media, so I do it. Or you have a VA or somebody who is young in your office, so they must know how to be cool on social media. So I'm just going to outsource all of the pain to them. And lo and behold, that kind of random posting without a plan creates exactly what you're giving it, random and unreliable results. You do not want to be doing that because social media will not work for you. The third failure that we see is this: focusing on the wrong metrics. Likes and views, like I said, they feel so good, but conversations and conversions pay the bills. So what are you tracking? I'll share with you today different things that you need to track outside of everything you think you need to track, which is likes and views and did I go viral or not? Going viral has very little to do with whether or not you're closing clients on social media. Trust me, I already knew this. And even Netflix, we trended #1 on Netflix for over 3 weeks. I got hundreds of likes, hundreds of comments, hundreds of followers. But only the right followers bought for me. And it was a small percentage of all of the people who actually came. So visibility, okay, will not bring you sales. Only the right visibility will bring you sales. If that makes sense, say yes in the comments. Are you guys in the right room? Now, before I dive into my system and strategy, you are in the right room if you're a service-based business owner. Okay, this is how you want to be running your social media. If you're a coach or you're a consultant or you're an expert or you're an agent like an insurance agent or a real estate agent, or you provide professional services for people, this is how you develop those relationships and actually make more sales on social media. So let's dive into the system. This is the fast track, so I am talking a little bit faster than usual. But for those who have followed me for the last 20 years, you know that I get really excited about this stuff. So here is the 4-step system on how to actually show up on social media like a business owner and not an influencer, meaning you're focused on sales and not on views. Okay, so it's 4 steps. Now, the first step, of course, is content. Of course, social media, you need content. But you definitely don't want to be stopping at content because there's 3 other steps. And if you're stopping at content and think social media is just about the right video, uh, it's not going to work for you. Okay. You need the other 3 steps. Second step is engagement. Social media is social. So you really want to be engaging with people. There's real life people on the other side of social media. And all of the magic that you make when you go to live events or networking events or you meet people face to face, you can actually bring that into your social media and receive the benefits of that every single day, and not just when you go to a conference and see an influx of sales. Okay. But you have to go in with a strategy, which I'll be sharing with you today. We're going to break these down today, by the way. I'm not going to leave you high and dry on that. The third step is conversion. Now, one of the biggest myths is that if people watch my content, maybe they even binge your content, and I'm engaging with them, that they will like me and they will trust me and they will definitely seek out a way to work with me. This could not be farther from the truth, okay? With the TikTok situation going on where we can get a dopamine hit with every finger slide, they're not going to go away from their dopamine hits to figure out how to work with you. What is the next step? I wonder if Lindsay can help me. They're not even asking any of these questions. That's why when you go in with your social media strategy, you need a conversion plan, and I'll give that to you today. Don't you worry. All right. And then finally, amplify. If you build a system and as you're building, there are things within that system that are working. You just need to be able to know what is working so you can amplify that. And then there's little pieces in this machine that aren't working as well as they could. You pick one or two, you fix those, you test those, you perfect those, and then they become part of the working machine. And then you can focus on some other things that aren't working. But the whole goal here is to understand what the landscape is, what you need to be testing, what those levers are that you can actually press on and fix that will make the biggest difference for you and your business and your lead flow. Nice to see you guys too. So nice to see you guys. I love doing this. Okay. So we're going to go over the 4 steps. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do this right here and right now. Okay. So content, of course, everybody loves content. Everybody is like loving the content. You have been posting content, but it's not really resonating with the right people. So here is the solution. You don't have to go to 25 college classes on how to niche down. Okay, I'm sure you've heard this. I'm sure that you have tried niching down. I'm sure you have 25 documents that proves you've tried to niche down, but most people don't do it well. And I'm just going to tell you how to do it just right now on a single Post-it note. Okay, and that is called my one true client method. If you want to be niche down and you want to make sure you're talking to the right people on social media, follow this method. And all it is envision, and I would love for you to write their names in the comments, okay, on social or in the Zoom room. So sit for a second here with me, and we're thinking about our most ideal client, the one that's in our experience that's a real live person that we've actually served, okay, who is like your utmost perfect client. Somebody that if you could take cookie cutter versions of this person, like your business would be on fire and you would be happy serving because you know you could serve that person. Find one person in your head. Now, they may not be perfect. You might want to reach higher, but you have to pick somebody who's real life that you've actually served in order for this to work. Otherwise, if they're not in your experience or you're saying, it's me, I am my perfect client, okay? That's not what I'm talking about here. For this to actually work, it has to be a living, breathing person that you've actually served. And then all you have to do is put their name on a Post-it note. And then every time that you go to record a video or do any marketing, you say, what would Marie think of this? Would this appeal to Marie? Would Marie wonder why I sold her a $5,000 package, but suddenly I'm selling a $99 membership? Would she be alarmed at that? Does this actually apply to her? Like, does she care about this? And if the answer is yes, then post it. But if the answer is no, I wouldn't post it because then you're going to be not calling in any Maries and your message is not going to be on point. This works. This is something we implement in our business. I have my one true client. We are constantly referencing them in every marketing message. What would they really think of this? And because you've worked with them and you know them and you can empathize with them and it's not you, you actually can get a really clear answer to that. And so when you're posting on social media, one true client, put it on a Post-it note. And before you post, just ask yourself, would Betsy resonate with this? Okay. So next, let's talk about, now that we know who, what does Betsy need to hear from you? Okay. What exactly am I supposed to be posting on social media? Well, influencers, okay, they're posting about their life. We've seen the Kim Kardashians of the world, right? Here's my life, and here's the dirty laundry, and here are my pets and my kids, and an insight into my life, which is fine. Okay. There is a small place for that in what we're doing. But if you do not follow up with what I call your VEMS, VEMS, then the people that you're talking to on social media will not think you're an authority. They won't really know what you do. They won't know how that applies. And they'll probably just be watching your social media for any cat memes that you're sharing. Apparently, I really like cat memes today. Okay. So if you post these 4 types of content, then you will set yourself up as an authority that people can actually work with on social media. And I have some examples here too, okay? So V is for vibe. That's your brand, how you come across, how you service customers, what your values are in your business. Experience is going to be how you serve customers. If you can actually show people through examples how you serve people and tell stories about it, and they see themselves in your stories, well, that makes the sales process a whole lot easier. M is for methodology. How do you help people? Do you have a process? I do. It's called the social media sales machine. Okay. 4 steps. And when people can see that you have a plan, that you have a process, then all of a sudden they don't have to just trust that Lindsay knows what she's talking about, but instead they can trust that you have a method and a process that you've walked people through and that their outcomes can be very similar to what you have shared. And then finally, skills. This is where most business owners post. They post about how-tos and 5 ways that you XYZ, like skills. Certainly there is a place for that, sharing what you know, but if you miss out on vibe, experience, and methodology, then your account will be a lot like a client of mine who was a fitness consultant. And he had over 50,000 people on Instagram, and he was posting the workout of the day. Okay. For 30 seconds every day, he's showing you a new move. And this got him to 50,000 Instagram followers. Did it bring him any high level fitness training clients? No, because high level fitness training clients, they don't need the workout of the day. They want more structure. They want deeper information about why they're failing, about what their obstacles are. And so even though he was in fitness and doing a fitness Instagram account, it wasn't producing results until he started to work with us. Okay, then there was results. Hey, everybody. So let's go over some examples. Say yes in the comments if you like examples. I want to hear from you right now in the comments. Give me a yes. So here's an example from a client of ours, okay? This is her vibe. You can see even from the picture, she has an amazing vibe. It's very authority yet friendly, okay? And she talks about her vibe. Do you find yourself caught in day-to-day thinking? And shares a little bit about what they do. This is a great vibe post. It's a little nugget from her that you can actually resonate with. Experience. Here's another client of ours, Rocky. He's a leadership consultant for 8-figure business owners. Okay. Here he is. His experience, just the picture alone says, I'm on stage. That brings a lot of authority with it. And then he shares a little bit about his experience here in this post. So who do you serve? What kind of clients do you serve? Do you speak? Do you have a book? What is your experience? Now here is methodology from another client of mine, Mike. He's a business consultant for independent insurance agency owners. And so he has a method to help independent insurance agencies actually scale their agencies. And so on social media, of course, his talking head videos are sharing his methodology because these agents are buying into his methodology, his agency acquisition strategy, and his secret to agency growth model. And they really resonate with that. And he shows he has a tried and true method, including his 7 books, that will help you step by step get to your end results. And then finally, skills. Another client of mine who helps brands expand their plus size offerings. And so her skills are, I know what mistakes brands are making when they try to expand into a plus size market. So she shares with you in her skills the biggest mistake that brands make, mistakes that cost millions. And that's what her skills look like. So when you combine your VEMS, your vibe, experience, methodology, and skills, and you're posting to your one true client, this sets you up as an authority where people actually can view you as more than just somebody with some social media gossip, okay? And somebody who can actually help them with their problem. So we covered the who on social media. Who should you be talking to? Okay. Who is your one true client? What should you be posting? You should be posting your VEMS, your vibe, experience, methodology, and skills. But what about where? Okay. Or when. Sorry, we're going to do when, and then we'll do where. When. Now, this is not the sexiest news for you, but I'm just here to deliver it like it is in today's day of AI, okay? And you are open for business 5 days a week, and this is your virtual storefront. You really want to be posting at a minimum 5 times per week, Okay, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. You need posts, consistent posts going out 5 days a week in order to make social media a real, true lead gen source for you. And then finally, where? And this is another influencer situation where most business owners are like, well, I have the videos anyway, and I'm getting a little traction on Instagram and I'm getting a little traction on TikTok. So I think I may as well just stay, monitoring all of these platforms. And I need to be everywhere because I'm an influencer. So, of course, I need to be everywhere. But if you change the way that you think about this, and instead you really want to be building a community on social media. So think about it like this. If you have a post going out on LinkedIn and you're making a lot of connections on LinkedIn, and those connections are liking your post, and then suddenly you have a post that doesn't only get like 4 or 5 likes, but it gets 10, 11, 12, that attracts even more people to get to know your post, and you'll build a groundswell there right on LinkedIn. It's a lot like throwing a really big rock in a pond and seeing a wave and the ripples come out from that big rock, versus you do a little on LinkedIn and get 2 likes over there, and a little on Facebook and get a couple likes over there. That's a lot like throwing 4 teeny tiny rocks in a pond and looking at those ripples. And this is where you're going to make a mistake, because you're going to be pulled to be on all the platforms and to communicate and engage on all the platforms, and you're going to be splitting all of your effort and you're not going to get a return. My advice is pick one and only one platform where your customers hang out, where you're doing engagement, where you're posting the content that needs to be posted. Figure out that one platform, and you will if you focus on one, and then you can expand to the next and the next and the next. For the clients that work with us, that's exactly what we do. We decide on a primary platform, we nail that down as a high quality lead generation system, and then we turn our focus to the next platform while the original platform runs itself. It's beautiful, it's awesome, and it's amazing. Okay, so let's go over it one more time. Who is your one true client on a post-it note? Okay. What is your vibe, experience, methodology, and skills? When? 5 times a week. And where? One platform and only one platform. Now, I understand that social media is a little bit more than just planned content. Sometimes you're out speaking. Sometimes you have a book launch. Sometimes you're on a podcast and you want to put that on social media. So how does that work? Is like when I am called to post on social media versus all the scheduled stuff. And people get really, really mixed up on that because they're like, I actually want it to feel more authentic about what's happening every day. But you don't have something super amazing and awesome happening every day, nor do you want to be figuring out how to post that on social media. That's influencer behavior. So, what we do in our agency, what we guide you to do, and what I'm going to tell you to do today is to view your content in 2 different buckets. Okay. You got planned content, which means you have reliable visibility. You've pre planned these for the customers who work with us. Okay. We send them over talking points. I interview them for an hour a month. An hour is all a month. They show up in their expertise. We take that hour-long recording and we create 30 days worth of high converting content from that video, both written and video posts. And then we make sure we go and schedule those on the platforms so that they know, and we're covering the bases of having that reliable visibility. And that goes out every day. You're hitting your 5 times a week. You don't have to wake up and worry about it. If you're busy, you know social media is already covered, because it's all about momentum on social media. So you don't even want to miss a day. So make sure you have your planned content. That's where I actually recommend everyone here starts. And then you can have what I call pop-up content. So this is what it looks like when customers work with us, okay, is that we have their planned content. They're out there 30 days in a month posting every day for 30 days. We got that covered in a 1-hour recording session. But then if they're out visiting a customer, if they are at a speaking engagement, if they have a book launch, if they are called to say something else on social, then they do what's called a pop-up content. And that can come the second half of the day anytime, really. They can make a pop-up post that will actually just feed what is already happening in the planned content. And it works out really great this way when you view your content from those two buckets. So let's look at some examples here, okay? Chris Paradiso, client, insurance agency owner, client of mine. Now he needs to be out on social media 5 days a week. I interview Chris for an hour a month, and from there, every single week out on his social media platforms, we have 3 talking head videos. We have a positioning post that you see up here with an image, and we have a shareable and a quote post. Now, those go out every day, 5 days a week. He doesn't even have to worry about it after that one hour interview. But then when he's out at a conference and he's meeting another customer of mine named Mike, or he gets a big check-in, or he's donating for schools because Chris loves community service, then he is free to post any pop-up content, which actually then feeds the authority content, and it makes for a really, really great social media cycle that will actually generate high quality customers. The fact is that planned content builds your brand, pop-up content builds your humanity, and together they're really quite unstoppable. So that's what it looks like in terms of that. And I want to make another comment about talking head videos. And you saw those talking head videos. Straight up, okay? Those talking head videos are the number one way that you can build authority online. So if you're not in front of the camera talking to people and actually sharing your expertise and knowledge with a camera on your face where they can feel the way that you talk, the way you come across, and you can build intimacy like that, you really want to come out and start videoing those. And I know that can be very overwhelming. Like, a lot of people don't want to get in front of the camera. A lot of people don't have the time to do it. You have all of the like a mic and the lighting, and what am I supposed to say, and then how do I post it? Like, there's a lot that go into those talking head videos. But as much that goes into the talking head videos, the benefits of doing that far outweigh the work, and it's something you really want to focus on and really, really tackle. So let's talk about engagement next. So we talked about content. Next up is engagement on the social media sales machine. Now, if you're just only posting content and then hoping that people will engage, well, that's not enough. So you want to be addressing people as people out there, okay? And so what does that mean? That means every single day, and I recommend this just like a workout, okay? 30 minutes in the morning is talking head a real person. That's a real person. That's really you, Abraham, talking on those videos. Nothing will bring sales in faster than a talking head video, okay? So in terms of engagement, I kind of call this virtual networking. Just like you would go and network before you go to a conference, before you go to a live event, you're like, who do I need to be sitting with? Who would be my ideal client? Who can actually help me in business? I recommend doing that on social media and actually doing reach out on social media. So you aren't sitting back hoping people will engage with you, but you are actually adding people, friend requesting those people so that they will become part of your social sphere. Okay. You are interacting with people who leave you comments and messages. You're DMing them, and you are really fostering that engagement on social media. I recommend, and we have systems that can help you do this, but for us right now, I recommend doing 30 minutes in the morning and about 15 minutes in the evening. If you do that and you're nurturing those relationships online, it's just like your workout. What you do virtual networking every day is what the health of your business and your lead flow will be 3, 6, and 9 months from now. It's just like a workout. You may not see it today, but cumulatively, it will continue to build and build and build. Okay? Let's talk now about conversion, the third step in the social media sales machine. As I mentioned, most people just feel like if they watch a lot of my videos, they'll just reach out to work with me. But that could not be farther from the truth. The fact is, you want a call to action in every single post. You want to be approaching social media, okay? The person viewing your social media, if you're going to be getting into their body, okay? You want to be viewing any social media post from somebody with brand new eyes, somebody who's never seen you before, somebody who doesn't know you, which means that you want to put a call to action on every single post because maybe they didn't see your post before that had the call to action on it. And when I say call to action, I mean giving people that next step. So, whether that be if you want to schedule a strategy session with me, comment the word workshop or session. Okay. If you want my free PDF, comment the word PDF and I'll give you the free PDF. Whatever that call to action is, you want to make sure that it is on every single social media post. Okay. And that is something that most business owners do not want to do because they feel like it's salesy. They feel like they're always pushing. But honestly, this is your storefront. And you really just want to offer it up like that. And making sure people know what that next step is to work with you is critical in order to actually convert people from social media into your programs and services. Now, the final step of the social media sales machine is amplify. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make on social media is and in marketing, and I've been in marketing for a really, really long time, okay? And the biggest mistake you're going to be making on that is you're going to try a marketing campaign. Maybe you found a new agency to work with, and you're 4 weeks in and you're not getting a lot of results. So you're like, that marketing campaign for LinkedIn that agency was doing, that doesn't work. Okay. I'm throwing that out. I'm going to start something new. I saw this ad about TikTok. I'm going to start that. And so then you start that and you throw everything away that you did on that LinkedIn campaign. When we work with customers, we take a real iterative approach to social media and creating a sales system. There's a lot of things that are working in your social media. There's a lot of things that can be working in your engagement and conversion. And unless you're tracking those, unless you are actually understanding the little pieces in between, you're unable to amplify. And that's why you actually toss it out. So the key to amplification is actually tracking all the little steps, finding what's working, keep doing those, and testing out all of the other little parts that aren't working. Okay, let me give you a quick example here on that. Quick example is we do what is called invite-only events for our conversion, which is a masterclass that we invite people to every single week from our social media. We track 5 main metrics on this webinar, okay? We track how many people we invited. We track how many people RSVP'd. We track how many people came. We track how many people got on a call. And we track how many people actually signed up for services. So we have 5 main metrics that we track on our conversion event. And guess what I know? I know for myself and my customers, let's say nobody gets on a call, but they extended a lot of invites, they got a lot of RSVPs, and a lot of people came, but nobody got on a call. Then that gives me a very useful piece of information, which is my call to action. Okay, either my audience is completely wrong for my call to action or my call to action is weak. It's one or the other. And so then we can produce a way to actually start testing that and figuring out the answer. And that's what it looks like when you amplify what's working and test the rest. Say yes in the comments if this is making sense to you. So let's go over the social media sales machine one more time. Okay. There's 4 steps to posting on social media like a business owner and not an influencer. And here they are. Content. Yes, we need it. It needs to be consistent. 5 days a week. 1 platform. Talking to your ideal client. Okay. 2, engagement. You need to be interacting with those people on social media. You need to be sending friend requests to your ideal clients. You need to be commenting and DMing the people who comment on your social media. Number 3, you need a clear conversion event. Okay. Hey, here's the next step if you want to work with me, and make that clear in every single post. And then 4th, you want to amplify. What is working right now? What is the pieces that are working? What are the pieces that aren't? And that all comes down to tracking. And How can we amplify what is working and test the rest? This is the secret to good marketing. This is the secret to succeeding. This is the secret to really great business building instead of business building based on hopes and dreams and guesses. We don't want to be doing that. We want to do it the right way. Okay. And when we do it the right way, the beautiful thing is everyone here can have a really amazing business and social media presence and the ability to generate leads on social media. It's a step-by-step system. Most people aren't patient enough and don't have enough self-discipline to actually pull it off. But ultimately, I've outlined the system and you can go implement it. So I want to bring us back to the Netflix show. For those individuals who did not see the Netflix show, okay, I'll give you a spoiler alert because I don't want you leaving wondering what happened. You can actually go watch it on Netflix. But ultimately, what happened in that show was I was in 7 out of the 8 episodes. So I was voted out the episode before the last one. And the last 2 episodes I was in were actually named after me. So it was a huge win as far as I was concerned. But ultimately, how does this go into social media? Okay. I didn't walk away from that experience with the full $250,000. Okay. But what I did walk away with understanding the difference even more about posting like a business owner and not an influencer, and the importance of that visibility alone. Being on Netflix alone is not enough for people just to throw their money at you. You need a system and a process for that to actually work. And it is so important today to do that. It's so important to understand that and to have a system. And I've covered a lot in this masterclass. And if you're leaving wondering, I don't know, I understand the 4 steps, but I don't know how that actually applies to me and my business. And my business is different. Or what about this? Or what about that? It's a lot like learning how to swim, what I've shared with you today in this very, very fast track. Okay. And you've watched a lot of YouTube videos about how to swim, but the second you go get in the water, well, that's a whole different situation. And so, what we're offering for everybody who is watching today and everybody who has come to this fast track, we are offering a social media strategy session with me. Now, that will be one-on-one with me. You and I will be going through who you should be attracting on social media, how you're engaging on social media, how you're converting from social media, and how you're actually amplifying what you're doing on social media. We will paint this out. We will look at this together, what is and isn't working, and we will come up with a custom social media plan for you. Now, these calls, okay, once they are gone, they are gone. My calendar gets very booked. I do a lot of speaking. I do a lot of different things. And so if this is something that interests you and you are ready to make, by the time summer hits, you actually have a social media system that works for you, I highly recommend you book now. Emily, if you will drop the link in the comments, that would be really fantastic. Emily's going to drop the link. You can also hit it on the QR code here. And I'll say this, okay? If you book your call today, maybe we don't talk today, but if you book your call today and you decide to move forward with any of our services, then I will also be including a $1,500 media placement package as part of that. And what that is, it's so powerful. And that's why I've decided to include it, because it can actually help our work together get amplified even more. And that is, we will have a story written about you and about your services and get you featured on major media outlets, ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC. Then you can turn around and use these icons authentically in all of your marketing and on your social media so that at a glance, people can see you're an authority. People will trust you. And you mix that with our services around how to post on social media and getting that posting done for you, as well as that conversion event. Well, you'll be unstoppable. Emily dropped the link in there, www.lindsaye.com/book-now. Once those spots are gone, I'll tell you this, okay? I'll tell you this, which is I've been doing this for 20 years. We've perfected the strategy of generating clients on social media. Even this 30-minute call with me, you will leave with clarity. You will leave understanding how to apply what I've shared with you in the social media sales machine fast track to your business. And there is no time like the present. Okay. If you're here at this masterclass, you've been thinking about getting on social media, you can keep thinking and think your way into summer, and then things will be slow. As Shauna mentioned at the top of the hour, summer can be tough to get these things going. So I recommend coming in now, building out your system so you can have lead gen and sales coming in all summer long. If you keep postponing, okay, everything will postpone. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The best time to start on social was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. And we're here to help you. We have a proven system. We can help you scale your social media as a business owner and not an influencer. The time is now, especially as I mentioned at the top of the hour, with all of the uncertainty here, especially in the States. Okay. Your competitors are pulling back, and there is even more of the ability to step into social media, do it right, and really tap into that untapped gold mine that is social media. So, Emily dropped the link here, lindsaya.com/book-now. Once the spots are gone, they are gone. Make sure you book today. Okay. Book today and receive that $1,500 media placement package for booking today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to turn it back over to my awesome team.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for that fantastic